everybody, and welcome to a Slice of Gaming podcast, episode 142 for April 11th, 2026. I'm your host, the Untrail Wolf, and I am joined today by two very special guests to talk about all the things in the world of gaming, which there isn't a lot, but hey, you know what? This week we gotta always come up every week, and there's still some little tidbits that I definitely want to talk about, and of course, I just like hanging out with the boys. First and foremost, I got my man Bench.
Hello, it's been a while. I am anticipating the rumored state of play.
I'm also joined by my main man Moon. How you doing, Moon?
At least I got chicken.
Chicken?
I got some chicken going, so we're all good.
Dude, I could go for some chicken. I just had a burrito, and I'm like, you ever eat a meal and you're like, I ate too much? Because it's I know it's gonna beat me up later tonight.
Yeah, that's me.
Fried rice.
That's me pretty a lot lately because I'm on like new weight loss medication and it just cuts your food intake down by a lot. I'm like, I can't eat this anymore.
Yeah.
Anyways, like I said, pretty slight news week. So if you guys want to find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, like the podcast, helps us out a ton, and follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky at A Slice of Gaming. Before we get into the actual news, this is the first time I'm going to have you guys on for kind of this little segment I call the icebreaker, where I just ask a question that we can all like give our own answers to, just as a way to like ease us into the big gaming news. And I got a question for y'all. What was your favorite childhood cartoon growing up? What was the cartoon that you were always hyped for? Your favorite show growing up, when you were like, say, 10 years old or whatever. I'm interested to hear y'all's answers, especially because, Moon, you're a different age bracket from me and Bench.
Yeah, it really depends on what era we're talking about. 10, though? That's got to be like
5 to 10.
Okay. I don't think I remember
15.
that much from then, but I was definitely the kids WB kid of the early 2000s, where it was Jackie Chan Adventures. Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh were also part of that time slot.
Yeah. The 4Kids era.
Yeah, the 4Kids era. I was part of that. I was deep in that era. What else was on Kids WB? But the
was
TMNT.
Animaniacs on
I think Animaniacs was just a bit before me.
Okay.
I think I did catch some reruns. I do remember watching Pinky and the Brain a lot.
Oh, I loved Pinky and the Brain.
I was all over the place, and let's see. I don't know what's going to come in, but Coconut Fred. If anyone remembers Coconut Fred, it was like the lame. It was them. It was Kids WB trying to cash in on the SpongeBob hype.
Oh,
so they made their own SpongeBob. Yeah, it lasted maybe a season, and nobody liked it.
2 seasons. I love the first result as a Reddit post. What the hell is Coconut Fred's Fruit Salad Island?
Yeah, it's almost like lost media at this point. And the one thing I was really into was Shaolin Showdown. Like that was my jam for a good long time in that too.
That was the one with the guys with like the really like big foreheads, or am I thinking of something else? Or is that it? Oh, Shaolin. It's with an X. Yeah. Okay. Now I remember this. Yeah, I didn't catch this growing up, but
honestly, I rewatched a couple episodes not too long ago just to feel something. I'm like, this show still slaps.
Dude, some of those cartoons you grow up with, it's like, damn, wait, actually, we had it pretty good.
Yeah, like the ones that I was always leaned more towards the one that were actual like serialized shows of like having ongoing story, like Shaolin Showdown and Jackie Chan Adventures, instead of like the episodic like SpongeBob. Like I still like SpongeBob and all that, but I definitely leaned more towards the stuff that had ongoing storylines.
Yeah, for sure. What about you, Ben?
For me, it's Pokemon and SpongeBob. Those are kind of the two. And Pokemon, it's a very weird spot because I was born in 2004, which would make you think that you're probably not watching Pokemon until you're 3 or 4. So you're kind of in like that Gen 4 black and white era, which mostly true. My first Pokemon game was Platinum. However, a lot of my strict Pokemon like anime watching was Indigo League and Johto League and Gen 3. Like it was definitely those 3 at first. Like I specifically remember watching like seasons Gen 1 through 5 in the anime pretty seriously growing up. Fell out with Gen 6. It then came back to Gen 6 and were like, oh, that's like some of the best of the Pokemon anime. They cooked.
There's like an actual romance too. It was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
They were like actually going crazy.
Pokemon League into that final arc, Gen 6 is great. And then, Gen 7, it's just like, it's a tough watch. So, and then after that, I kind of followed back for Ash's final arc and haven't been keeping up with Horizons. But then, like, in SpongeBob, it's just like classic SpongeBob. can't get it wrong. Like specifically remembering the Bubble Bowl, the worm, just all the classic SpongeBob things. It's like, yeah, this is it. This is the childhood. And then not specifically cartoon, but another like Disney XD show was Lab Rats. I was a big Lab Rats.
Oh my god, dude, Lab Rats! I watched like a fucking 4-hour breakdown of the entire Lab Rats series not too long ago. That show was insane. I cannot believe that what they were doing in that show. It's amazing. Yeah, Lab Rats is a fucking throwback. Shout out to that.
Big Lab Rats guy.
For me, not too dissimilar to you, Bench. Because I was just 2 years before you, 2002. I grew up a lot of Pokemon. I remember watching my sister's old VHS tapes of Indigo League, so that's how I got into it. But then, really getting into it with like the Sinnoh League and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then SpongeBob, obviously, I think most kids our era definitely grew up with SpongeBob in some way. But my favorite show growing up was Regular Show. I don't know if you guys know that one or if you watched it. I thought that show was hilarious. It's very sitcom-y type cartoon, but it works so well with the type of humor. A lot of my humor just comes from that show and grew from that. And then the other stuff like Amazing World of Gumball, Adventure Time. I was definitely more of a Cartoon Network kid when it came to cartoons, but I always dabbled in Nick and whatnot.
I spent a lot of time with Cartoon Network with my shows were like Ed, Edd n Eddy and oh god, like the Dexter's Laboratory and Powerpuff Girls and all those, because that was my time around with Cartoon Network.
I mean, even me, there were a lot of reruns, man. So I was watching those stuff, and especially Courage the Cowardly Dog, dude. That was
Courage, and Cartoon Network loves their reruns. So that's not surprising.
I specifically remember I only watched Gumball not because I was banned in my household, but I only watched Gumball whenever I was getting my hair cut at the place. Been getting my hair cut for 15 years, so was always what was on when I got my hair cut.
It's a ritual. It's like I'm not getting my hair cut without Gumball in the background, buddy.
That's true.
And also, I got to shout out the OGs: Tom and Jerry, Looney Tunes, Hanna-Barbera. That was always on. Especially when I would visit Jordan, those were the only cartoons. Because in Jordan, all the cartoons were in Arabic, so I couldn't really understand them growing up. So Tom and Jerry was the one where I'm like, oh, but I know what's happening here. There's no dialogue. So I loved watching Tom and Jerry over there. They're the
Jerry, Looney Tunes. Yeah, they're the goods, but I specifically only really watched them on DVD. So that's how I remember watching those.
The only real channel that reran them for me was Boomerang in the States, which was you had to pay for Boomerang.
Scooby-Doo, good shout.
That's my go. I love Scooby-Doo.
The greatness that is Scooby-Doo,
best Scooby-Doo series is actually Mystery Incorporated. That one is fucking insane. It is
well, they had some great early 2000s movies. I remember the Cyber one.
Oh yeah, with Matthew Lillard. Oh, you're talking about the animated ones. I really love the live action ones that James Gunn wrote.
I've seen those. But no, Scooby-Doo.
There was the vampire one with the
Vampire's Curse.
Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase.
Cyber Chase.
The Zombie Island.
Zombie Island's still the best one.
Man, those old it kind of hits a lot that cartoons from the 60s and 50s are still just as funny as stuff today. They just hit. That was fun.
Early 2000s, but yes.
Yeah, I love talking cartoons, the OGs. But anyways, let's talk about video games, which, like I said, there isn't a lot, but there's still some stuff to kind of park on. First and foremost, our good friend Nate the Hate, good friend. I wish he was my friend. Nate's cool. But he put out yet another rumor. Since this gained unexpected attention and traction, I'll share the unconfirmed date I've heard for the next potential state of play, April 16th, emphasis on unconfirmed. And then he also replies to a Radic tweet where Radic says, do you have any idea if it's a state of play dedicated to a single game like Wolverine or a general state of play like the one we got in February? And then he replies, sounds more third-party focused, but I'm not 100% certain. Really interesting. This is the earliest we've gotten a state of play because usually they happen in May, June. So to have one in April is pretty curious. I will say, just off the bat, I don't really expect much from this because this definitely sounds like a third-party obligation state of play. I don't know why they would do it in April and not May if it wasn't some third-party partners yo, we need these games to have trailers.
Well, yes, but if you really look at the release calendar, anything past like June, we don't know much about. So I think there's a
Yeah.
Well,
lot of
yeah,
filling
but
in plus quick turnaround announcements we could get. I don't think Sony first party outside of maybe like a Soros launch trailer shows up, but last state of play we didn't expect much and it was probably their best one yet. I'm not expecting that high of quality, but they could always surprise twice.
I mean, did we not expect much because like of the time it released, or did we not expect much because it's a state of play? Because I do think like I do expect a lot from like February state of plays. I expect a lot from all of them, and I'm usually disappointed. I'll say that right
I
off the
mean, yeah,
bat. But
I
like,
think they overachieved last time.
oh yeah, I know, and I agree with that. But I like, do you think they overachieved because of the timing of the state of play, or because of like, state of plays usually aren't this good?
I think it's column A, column B. I don't think even a normal February state of play was ever that good. I think that was like not. I think you have to throw one more crazy announcement in there to say it's like a showcase style state of play. But I mean, it's as close as we've gotten,
Yeah,
and
I
it was
guess
pretty darn close.
the May ones usually are the bigger state of plays. That's a good
Mm,
point. Uh, I guess it's just I look at this and I'm like, why would you not have it in May? Even if you say it's like we don't know anything past June, it's like yeah, but like they could still wait till May to do their state of play. Then I like they still have like Sorrows for later this month, and I don't know about y'all. I've seen more than enough Sorrows. So I'm already sold on that game.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. But
I
I
mean, I
know
don't
that's
think
like
we're gonna.
they got to get that last like and remember it's out next week kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess I'll ask y'all what do you think is going to show up here? Because I will point out, Insomniac did say the next trailer for Wolverine would happen this spring, and according to my calendar, April is in the spring, so it makes sense for it to show up here.
I
yeah,
think
I
it's
mean,
definitely. I think it's gonna be. You remember with the Yote, it was in the state of play, and then it was like a small tease, and be like, okay, tune into the dedicated state of play later next month, and I think that might happen again.
do we know
If
if they said it was? We won't see Monster Hunter DLC here, will we? Because I think they said summer for that. So SGF maybe?
I
Yeah,
mean
no,
it's
that feels like an
tease.
SGF thing.
Yeah,
I definitely think Onimusha gets a date here, or I
I
mean, it'd
hope
be
so.
crazy if it didn't.
I hope so. I really want to play that game. I feel like that game has been like 2026 for longer than it needs to be. Where I'm just like,
Hmm.
you've shown this like really early, and like you keep showing it, but every time you say 2026, like I feel like there were less trailers for Pragmata, and yet that game's coming out next week.
Well,
what
and
was the
also
other game?
like,
There's always like Onimusha and something else. That's like it keeps getting shown, but we never get a date. What was the other game? It was Onimusha and something else. Was it
I,
Pragmata? Maybe it was Pragmata.
for the longest time, I remember it was Phantom Blade Zero, where I was like,
Oh, that
we
too. Yeah.
still don't have a date, but like
No, we do.
that got a date now.
Yeah, that got a really early date of that's gonna be coming out September.
I
Can't
mean,
wait.
the curious thing is like we don't have a lot of like fill out for this next calendar, the second
Oh, we
half
could
of
get
the
the
year, but
next Tokon team trailer.
yeah, for sure. Like we don't
Yeah,
have a lot of fill out dates, but also we don't have a lot of games that we specifically know about besides like on Onimusha. So I'm expecting like some new games, even if they aren't like top shelf third party games that have a pretty quick turnaround in the next 6 to 8 months.
I mean, we could. Yeah, it's so weird because it's probably is very third party focused, and I'm just like flipping through my 2026 list right now. There's
yeah.
like
I have no clue what could
there's
show up
nothing
here. I'm
here.
not saying there's not going to be anything here. I just don't know what could show up here.
It's literally
Yeah,
anything.
I don't think Square's only game this year is gonna be Elliot. So
I mean,
It
yeah,
would
but
be
it's also
hilarious if it
like,
was.
what else could it be? I mean, like part 3 7 remake is definitely not showing up here. That's for
no.
sure.
I
Like,
mean maybe Bravely something, maybe second port, who knows?
yeah, I don't
I
know.
mean
I
We
feel
get
like
Marvel
Bravely
1943 to reappear.
that game doesn't. That's
Bravely
not a real game.
Default HD remaster strangely didn't come to PlayStation. Either they're just holding that specific one for like an announcement here, which would be weird, or maybe they
Did it come to
throw it in like,
Xbox?
oh, second's coming along with the original.
Am I crazy, Bench? Did it also come to Xbox, but not
Yeah, it came
PlayStation?
to everything but PlayStation,
That is
which is very
really weird.
weird. So
Yeah.
maybe there's some smoke there on. I just don't think they'd take State of Playtime to specifically announce
Oh, what
that
about
if they
Kenna?
weren't having something with it. Kenna for sure.
Yeah, Keno could get a quick trailer. That's the thing, though. It literally was just. That's why this timing of this state of play is so weird for me because it's like, damn, that February one was just 2 months
I
ago. Like
mean,
it'd be weird as like, oh yeah, remember that game you saw 2 months ago? Here's more of it. And it's like, oh,
But
like,
also,
finally settled on a release date.
you say quick trailer, but I mean, you have to think this year specifically. I mean, late October probably is going to be the last time a new game releases, and even
that's
then, I
true.
mean,
That's a really good point, actually.
maybe I don't think anything tries to compete with like a Wolverine specifically. So even like mid October is probably the latest you're going to get a new game. So I mean, Kenna, you'd have to think maybe even be a September game, and if you want to date that now, if that's the case.
Yeah, I hope it's not a September game because I feel like it's gonna get kind of buried if it's there. August.
Yeah, because September already has Phantom Blade Zero and Wolverine within 6 days of each other.
Yeah.
So fucked up. They really did that just to fuck me over specifically. I'm the only person who's excited just for those two. I guess it's like what is like y'all's like realistic dream type thing where it's like this could happen here and you hope it's here.
Realistically, I thought you said unrealistically, and I was
No,
about to go
realistic.
BioShock.
Yeah, dude. Judas.
Judas,
Actually,
finally.
Judas could. I'll say. That's
I mean, it's definitely possible, but we'll get absolute. It'll still say coming soon.
coming soon.
Yeah,
hey guys, we're still hiring.
As someone who's playing Bioshock would be cool.
He just had to throw that out there as someone who's playing through it. Yeah.
I mean, the vibes are cool. It'd be fun to see in a trailer, but
but like that's like way far out, especially after Ron
we
Ferguson.
did just see Stranger Than Heaven, so we wouldn't be that. We just saw that.
Yeah, Stranger Than Heaven is getting an Xbox show in May though, so yeah, that wouldn't be here.
Maybe a Yakuza game. Like, is there another one?
No,
Yakuza.
I think we'll be
Yakuza
slowing down
now
on
really
Yakuza.
tied to Xbox.
Let's hope they slow down.
Yeah.
My God. After Kiwami 3, yeah, they need to slow down.
Yeah, so
I don't know. This is tough. It's really hard to predict state of plays, like third party wise.
Half-Life 3.
Show up. Nope, not that. Not that. I'll tell you with a passion. That's not happening here. It's so funny, Bench. I was so like with you of like Half-Life 3 is being revealed this year. But as we get later in the year and we hear less and less about the Steam machine, I'm like, I don't know if Half-Life 3 is going to get revealed anytime soon now.
Trust.
I want to trust, but I don't know. I want to believe.
I think something Square, an HD remaster of some kind, or an HD 2D project, or a smaller project. I think something from Square. I mean, they had the Tactics remaster.
What about the Silksong DLC?
Nah, that's a bit later.
Yeah, they'll do that on their own time too. As much as I would like Silksong DLC.
Oh, you know, here's a good one. Ace Combat 8. You'll probably get another trailer here.
Oh, I was just looking at that. Yeah.
Is it 8 or 9?
8.
Okay, 8. Gotcha. All right. I always forget. Sometimes with these like franchises with like large numbers, like they get to 8, and I'm just like, oh shit, which one am I at now? I don't remember anymore.
I mean, interesting take would be Kyoto Xanadu, but I think that could be more of a direct thing because that is actually in a very strange situation where they have only said the release date in Japan, and they haven't even said who's publishing it in the West, and it's coming out in Japan on like the second weekend of July, so. I don't know if it's day one in the West, but it seems to also not be like it could be like a couple of weeks or a month or something strange.
Yeah, it's tough to predict, honestly. I think we're in a weird like spot where making predictions for a state of play that we know literally like we only know that a state of play will most likely happen next week. We don't even know like the time, like the amount of time that's going to be. We don't know like what games for sure are going to be there. It's just a state of play. I'll predict this. I do think it's going to be a smaller one. I think it's going to be just kind of mediocre.
It's going to be a lot of just going to be updates. I don't think it's going to have really much new. And if it is new stuff, it's going to be very small stuff.
What if they come out swinging with Dragon Quest 12?
See, now that game's not real. That is a PNG on someone's computer.
you have to think like I don't think it'll be here, but like you have to think it's getting shown this year because I mean we're gonna have.
Here's my thing, Ben.
We're gonna have 4 Dragon Quest remakes, like one Final Fantasy VII remake project.
Here's my thing, Bench. The fact is, they're not even talking about Dragon Quest 12. Like you see, like I forget his name, Yuji Horii. He like whenever he's like asked in interviews, he's asked about any other game outside of Dragon Quest 12, and when Dragon Quest 12 is brought up, he's like, yeah, what a game is it? Ain't that? Yeah, it's shaping up. It's like, okay. Yeah. I think you get Kingdom Hearts 4 before Dragon Quest 12. I'll say that right now.
Danganronpa 4 will be here.
It's 2x2, actually.
It's 4. I'd bet my life savings that it's 4.
I'm saying the title that was
I
given
know,
to
but
me.
you never even played V3. I think Moon did, but
I,
pretty
I didn't
much
I didn't finish
they
2 either.
they really like playing with title names, and the fact that this has a whole new scenario that's the size of the original game, which is like a 25-hour visual novel, makes me
No,
think that
I agree with you, Bench. I'm still what's the creator's name again? I forgot. God,
I
he's like
don't
some
know.
I forget. Tataka. I forget.
I think it's
He's on my
Takata.
shit list still. He's still on my shit list of like. He was like, guys, please, if you don't buy this game, our studio's gonna go under. And then, like 3 days after 100 Line came out, he's like, "Here's my next game. It's coming out in 3 months." It's like, you lying son of a bitch. That shit pissed me
Maybe
off.
if it is like if they specifically say, "Oh, this is a like Japanese focused state of play," I could see like a 100 line port
Oh yeah,
in
it
like
could.
a tutorial.
Nate never actually specifies. This could be another like Japan state of play.
Yeah.
Which the last one was kind of mediocre.
Listen, we just need Square to show up here, and then it's all is forgiven.
I don't. What is Square going to show though? I don't think any of their things are ready.
I mean, I just don't think Elliot's the only thing. Not that I'd be mad if it was the only thing they had this year. I just think they probably have a September or October game. Now, is that
I
game
feel
of
like
Foam Stars?
well, that's the
Maybe.
thing. I feel like it's going to be like a Dio Field Chronicles, where it's just like, oh, okay, cool.
People,
Thanks for making
yeah, but I
games,
mean,
Square.
they could
And
have another
I'm not trying to
remaster
be
like Tactics.
yeah, I'm not trying to be mean to like a Dio Field
Yeah,
Chronicles. I like new IPs like that. It's just I'm talking about like specifically a game they just don't market and they just kind of let out to die, which
yeah.
I
So,
don't know. I hope
I
it's something cool.
mean, they had,
Uh,
yeah.
well, yeah, sorry. Did you have something else to say?
Yeah, I'd just be shocked if they don't have something in the second half of the year, is all.
Oh, that's fair. Wait, I guess like last thoughts. Any last things that you think are possible for the state of play? But
Did you mention Danganronpa?
I
yeah,
did.
yeah, bench.
Okay, good. But, like, I feel like that has a slight possibility because that also feels like they have this state of play in April. It's out in like May. Like, I could see that.
I don't know about May,
Yeah.
but I could see June for sure.
It's
I
a
don't
summer
think it'll
game,
be
so
a,
like I feel like it has to release
yeah.
in the summer. All right, well, state of play. We will see you next week. If it does happen, which I have a pretty high suspicion because it is Nate the Hate. He's pretty spot on. Let's move on to our next story. This is a quick one as well, or not even a quick one. This is an interesting one. Charlie Intel kind of reports this. Rumor: Xbox is reportedly considering removing Call of Duty from day one on Xbox Game Pass this year, and this is from Jez Corden, who wrote an article over on Windows Central. Or no, I think he just said it on his YouTube, whatever. But yeah, anyway, title says it all. Apparently, they're in consideration of removing COD, which the whole point of buying Activision Blizzard was Call of Duty on Game Pass and how big of a selling point that was. And now it seems like by its third year, it's just not going to be a thing. I I'm inclined to say that this Activision Blizzard acquisition might be the worst acquisition in gaming history, or at least up there, because
Most likely.
the trajectory that Xbox has shifted from so heavily because of this, I really think I would tell you this, and I think Moon, you would agree. I think Xbox was in a really good position pre acquisition of Activision Blizzard, where yeah, the
Uh,
games weren't
they were still
necessarily so.
finding like their identity of what they were trying to do because they were still in the middle of this like what are we doing? And I don't know who came up with the idea. I was like, what about all the Activision Blizzard stuff? And then I don't know what happened there.
It was like they bought Bethesda, which was a much smaller scale acquisition that worked out for them. They had a strong first party slate, and those games took forever to come out, but like they were still releasing stuff at a somewhat consistent pace. People were really in love with Game Pass, but then the moment you put $80 billion down on Activision Blizzard, Big Daddy Satya is going to look at the company and go, what's going on here? Like, you guys are actively losing money and you're trying to spend even more of my money on this. This is terrible. Let me spend more money on AI slop instead. But yeah, I don't know. I just think that like you look at Xbox's position pre and post Activision Blizzard, and it's like I bet right now they're thinking like, damn, I wish we didn't do that. Even if it did increase the revenues by a lot, the amount of overhead and the amount of cost of these companies and the amount of layoffs required, it was just too much, and I think they're kind of starting to buckle under the pressure of this acquisition.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I
they'll
agree.
only figure it out once they see like, well, does Call of Duty go back to their regular numbers after it's not on Game Pass? Like, or because I also think it was just a lot of bad dealt hands. It didn't help that the Call of Duties that ended up on Game Pass were some of the least well received ones. So that definitely didn't help.
Well,
Like,
people
imagine
liked
if like
6, but
yeah,
then
no,
they
I'm
followed
not
it
saying
up with
all of
7.
them were, but a majority of them seemed
Mhm.
like they were not the most well-received Call of Duties. Now, imagine if they got like one of the better Call of Duties during this time period. Maybe things might be a little different.
Because
But
they got MW3, Black Ops 6, and Black Ops 7, and like that's 2
mhm,
out of 3 L's.
yeah, so it's just an interesting. I don't know if it's just a bad time, bad luck kind of thing. Like, imagine if it was like a 3 out of 3. It's like, oh man, each Call of Duty it's either delivering or even exceeding what the last one was, and maybe it probably would have drawn people in. But if you're delivering, Black Ops 7 and the whole disaster that was, and it's like, well, no one's buying Game Pass because they don't want to play that Call of Duty because it sucks. So it's an interesting case of like so many certain dominoes had to fall at the same time to where they're like,
Mhm.
okay, yeah. Now, if the next one comes out, whatever this next Call of Duty is, and it's good and it actually sells separately, then you're going to see a much bigger number. And obviously, they're going to see the number like, well, obviously, Call of Duty just needs to sell separately. But I
Yeah.
think it's a mixed bag of yes, Call of Duty probably does sell better because your average Call of Duty gamer is just buying Call of Duty, so they don't mind buying that one game a year. And they're just gonna, instead of buying into Game Pass for they're because the whole thing is they want more Game Pass subscribers, just like every other company with a subscription service. They're
Mhm.
doing everything they can to make you buy into their subscription service and stay subscribed. And unfortunately, the Call of Duty crowd is only going to be there for like, well, I'm just here for Call of Duty. So it didn't
Yeah.
work out in that favor.
I, I'll bring this up. Could you see a situation where they kind of announce it's like this year Call of Duty is not on Game Pass, but we're reducing the price of Game Pass?
That's
Like
Bob
we're
brought that up in the chat earlier, and that doesn't seem possible. Well, I think you said that you said at bench that they're not even going to mention it. Like they're just going to pretend like, oh yeah, same old from a couple years
coming to
ago. Call
Game
of Duty's
Pass this month.
Like you'll get the reveal at Xbox Showcase, and it just won't have the day one. It'll be in
Yeah,
like the Xbox blog that it's not in there anymore.
Well, I don't think it'll
that's
even be
gonna be
that. I
one.
think they'll just kind of just pretend like Call of Duty on Call of Duty on Game Pass. What's that? It's like no, it's just going to come out in November like it does every year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Then in interviews, they're just like, "We never put Call of Duty on Game Pass. What are you guys talking about?" It's
Oh yeah,
like
some
just
of our
trying to collectively gaslight.
some of our older Call of Duties are on Game Pass because they came by later.
It's like, no, no, you don't get to skate by. I'm curious. I think we'll really know the answer by come June. When we get the Xbox showcase and it ends on Call of Duty again, and we see like if there is the day one on Game Pass or not. But I
Yeah,
mean,
and
this seems to be very much preliminary talks of like, hey, are we doing this or not?
it is just could be interesting because they could get away with that because obviously people like us who are paying attention to this kind of stuff are going to be all like, "What the hell's going on? Game Pass is still expensive, and now it doesn't even come with Call of Duty." But we are a minority of a minority. The average gamer out there isn't going to realize the difference
Yeah, they were
because Call
buying
of
Call of
Duty.
Duty either way.
Yeah, they're still buying Call of Duty. Like they for the past 2 3 years when Call of Duty was on Game Pass, they probably still just bought a copy, whether it was PC, PlayStation, or even Xbox. They probably still just bought their copy like they usually do. So to them, it's not going to make a difference when the new Call of Duty trailer comes out this year and it doesn't have that Game Pass logo on it because they're not going to notice.
I I think a lot about how like the last Call of Duty, Black Ops 7, was so dog shit, and yet people still went there and looked at it and said, I'm gonna spend $70 on it. Like I think about those people, I'm like, I think I am genuinely smarter than them. Not in a mean way, but like in a like I feel like anyone worth
I think
a brain
I,
would
I
not have
think when we
bought that
talk about
game.
those kind of Call of Duty players, they don't give two shits about like the campaign or story mode or anything like that. They just care if the multiplayer maps are good, if the gunplay is good. And I never played Black
Yeah,
Ops
that
7.
was
I don't
once,
know if the
man.
multiplayer was good too, but they're
Apparently it
playing it for
was,
that.
so that's fair. I mean, it's just man, I'm always confused. It's like, man, you buy this game every year. But also, I mean, we can't talk. I buy Pokemon every year. um,
But yeah, I don't know. We will see whether or not this comes to fruition. Again, probably by June, we'll know for sure. Next one. This is a pending one. We'll see kind of the fruits of it by next week. Andy Robson of VGC puts this: Rockstar confirms new data breach after hacker group threatens pay or we leak. The GTA 6 developer claims that a limited amount of non-material company information was accessed. On Saturday, the group Shiny Hunters, fucking dorks, which has previously targeted Microsoft, Cisco, AT&T, and Ticketmaster, claims they had breached Rockstar via third-party analytics platform Anodot, which is used by companies to track cloud costs. Pay or leak, it wrote by the cybersec guru. This is a final warning to reach out by April 14th before we leak, along with several annoying digital problems that will come your way. Make the right decision. Don't be the next headline. Oh god! In a statement, for real. In a statement, Rockstar confirmed the breach and claimed that it would have, quote, no impact on our organization or our players. We could confirm that a limited amount of non-material company information was accessed in connection with a third-party data breach. A spokesperson said this incident had no impact on our organization or to our players. The assumption, from what I've been reading, was that this is more related to marketing materials. So maybe
it's marketing material. There was like some internal stuff that I saw. Well, the more interesting one that I saw was possibly like actor contracts. So we could be possibly finding out like who's voicing some of these characters. Like I know everyone's like it's Troy Baker or it's Matt Mercer voicing the main guy character in GTA, and they all keep saying no, we're not. Now we can finally know.
Exactly. Yeah, I think this is like most likely we're going to get the price of GTA 6. We're going to get like platform details, stuff like that, maybe pre-order info. Maybe even the date of the next trailer. I don't know. It's a weird thing. I just continue to think like hacker groups like this are the lamest motherfuckers in the world. Because it's like, why do you use your powers of hacking to hack Rockstar and AT&T and not like credit card companies and tax collectors and like the actual evils of the world or like actually like screw over the real companies instead of just like, yeah, guys, GTA 6 is coming out on this date. This is how much it'll cost. Take that, Rockstar. It's like these fucking dorks, man. I just can't stand them. They are an active hindrance on the entire world, not just video games.
So when do we get the GTA 6 blowout?
I mean, Strauss Zelnick specifically stated it's going to be around the summer. So, like, my assumption was probably around June. We're going to get the, like, next trailer along with gameplay, pre-order info, that type of stuff.
They're going to do media hands-on previews the same day of Days of Play just to, like, cuck Jeff.
That's crazy. But also, I would not put it past Rockstar. They not give a shit about him. I mean, I kind of hope so because that would be funny. Not because I hate Jeff, but because I think it would be funny. I love Jeff.
Well,
Jeff
is the best. We need him to go on the Oscars type crusade against Rockstar.
Yeah, dude. We never brought it up. It was funny though. He was like very upset at the Oscars, which like, I mean, listen. At a certain point, I was like, yeah, no, you got points, but also it's like, let's cool it down, man.
He was just upset that like his dad wasn't honored, and I get it to an extent.
Hundreds of people weren't honored. It's just like it's a time thing, really. And I get it. Like his dad was extremely important. Why doesn't my thing was always like, why doesn't the Game Awards have an in memoriam then? Like I always think about that.
Someone's got to take Jeff's side on this. I'm with him through thick and thin. I believe what he believes. He's right.
Hey man, you do you, brother. You're on the. I don't want to say losing side because I think that's not. There's not really a losing or a winning side there. Anyways, let's move into our next story. This is a very, very fast one. Tech puts this out. PlayStation removes the cross-buy and the PS5 PC icons from PlayStation backend. This is very clearly when PlayStation was very much planning a PC launcher. I think with that Jason Schreier article of like they're moving away from PC day and day and just PC games, like their single player games coming to PC, this effectively tells me it's like, yeah, they're just completely done with that. Not surprising. This is very much just what we expected.
Yep.
Let's move into reviews of the week. This one I brought up last time when there were only 2 reviews. Now that we've got a good amount of reviews, so I thought it's like, okay, this is a good time to kind of check back in. Life is Strange Reunion
is sitting at a 73 on OpenCritic. IGN gave it an 8. Games Radar gave it a 2.5 out of 5. DualShockers gave it an 8.5. Six Axis a 7. Metro Game Central 5 out of 10. Very, very mixed, it seems. Some people seem to really dig it and enjoy the game, but it seems like a lot of reviewers are just not having it, leading to a pretty low average in general. I'm intrigued to see where like kind of it lands with like the Life is Strange like diehards. I'm never really gonna play this game. Moon, how do you feel about these reviews? I know you're playing through Life is Strange double exposure.
It's unfortunately what we kind of expected, and it's such a weird how it started with, like when it first came out, it started with like an 83, 84. I think it even hit 85 at one point, and then I blinked somehow and turned away, and when I turned back, it was a 73. Which
That's
was even
insane.
crazy. Like on our little like fantasy critic little tracker thing, I never saw that drop. Like it never gave a notification about a drop. Like it usually changes, it usually updates when points change. But it's like, no, we never saw this. I don't know what happened there. I want to know who was the guy who knocked it so far down. Like, how many reviews does it even have right now? It's 61.
For
Okay,
Life
never
is
mind.
Strange, yeah, 61.
But it was pretty much par for the course. Like when Fusion and I were waiting for it, like we knew it was going to be something like this. As long as it didn't fall like into the negatives, like a 60 something, I thought, okay, at least you can go out with your dignity, maybe. And at least people aren't like memeing on it like they did with Double Exposure. So there's at least some hope that's at least a mildly decent game. So we'll see.
We will see indeed. Before we get into what we've been playing, also, I do want to bring up Pokemon Champions came out just this last week. I haven't had the time to. You know what's interesting, Moon? Shit show on the first day, but then I think when people actually started playing it a lot more, it seems like people are actually really digging it. I've been seeing a lot of people really getting heavy into it. There's still problems. The game is extremely buggy. That's like the big thing. I don't know if you guys saw this clip of a Milotic using Haze, which is just supposed to eliminate status conditions, and then it just restored all of its health back. I don't know how that even happens, but it's stuff like that where it's just like, okay, this was clearly not ready. But on the other hand, it has been getting a lot more people into the VGC and like competitive Pokemon, which I think is really cool. I haven't had time to jump into it yet. I do want to get to it eventually, but I don't know. It seems like people are digging it for them, at least like the people who stuck with it.
I've played a couple of matches of ranked, and my takeaway so far is, first, it's got a weird visual bug to where the Switch 2 patch doesn't apply unless you load up the game, undock your Switch, and redock it with the game open.
Fucking insane! I can't believe that.
But it needs 60 FPS. It just feels wrong at 30, just because it's already like not the best looking game, but like just feel wise, it doesn't feel great at 30. I think 60 is what it should be. And then just I transferred all my Pokemon from home, and that's kind of an arduous process. But other than that, I
they're
mean,
not even going to stay there. That's the other problem.
No, I think they do.
They said the little pop-up says like they will eventually return back to home after a while.
Really?
Oh, I didn't read the pop-ups.
That's so like that's very weird. So it's like a vacation home for them.
Yeah, it's basically like a temporary like leave to go work in Champions, and then eventually they go back to home at some point.
That's very strange.
It's Pokemon battling so far. It's got some cool character designs though.
Yeah, dude, that farm girl. Like all I'm gonna say, man.
Yeah, the farm girl, the person who owns like the battle arenas, and even like your customizable character. Like, there's some great options there. It's like it'd be really cool if this was the standard, but the problem is it's just so limiting. But I mean, maybe some people are, like you said, are getting some interest out of, okay, here's what we can do with competitive Pokemon with this very small pool of things to be able to do.
I think it's actually kind of cool how limiting, like I like the limited Pokedex. I think the limited items kind of sucks. I think it's weird that like I think Assault Vest and Life Orb aren't there, which is like cornerstones of competitive Pokemon. But the fact that like people are being forced to find strategies with like these really weird like out there Pokemon is very fun to me. Where that's the thing. If all 1,000 Pokemon were here, it's like you're just gonna see like the same 6. Like you're just gonna see Lando T and Incineroar. You're still only seeing Incineroar most of the time, but like just the same 6 Pokemon. So
and I will say that like Yeah, it's cool now because people are all figuring out like, okay, well, we're gonna work with what we got, but give another week or two, and then that's the same thing's gonna happen. We're just gonna see the same 6 out of the limited pool. That's just competitive gaming in general. It's like, yeah, when something is brand new, that is cool, especially like fighting games and whatnot. Everyone's trying every character, but then after a while, everyone will realize, oh, well, here's the most optimal thing, and then you're only gonna see that.
I want to see what this game looks like after a month if they update it in a consistent fashion. I think if it gets consistent updates and it's like, hey guys, like 2 weeks later, I've always asked for this at like Pokemon in general, like buffs and nerfs, where it's like, hey guys, we're gonna like remove this move from this Pokemon because it's too powerful, or like
which they did. Some Pokemon lost some moves in Champions.
Yeah, and I think that's cool. I want more like balance updates like that, and it's like to make the meta more fresh and exciting. Where every time you pick up the game, it's like, okay, everything's changed in a big way. Rather than like a year later, it's like, damn, Incineroar is still meta. Like it's still like broken. So like I'm curious to see where it evolves. I think it's cool. We're in this discovery stage, but again, like we need updates. Like maybe 2 weeks later, it's like, hey, we're adding Life Orb in the game. We're adding these 20 Pokemon, stuff like that. I hope it's a consistent method of updating this game. And I will say, I mean, people are getting more into competitive Pokemon through it, which I think is really cool. And it's not even on mobile yet. That's when it's really gonna get a lot of people. I saw a post where it's like, wait till this game gets to mobile, because then you'll see the people who have been grinding Showdown for 10 years be unleashed, and not buy any mainline Pokemon games. They've just been grinding Showdown. It's like, we do not want to see them. They are the beasts of this game. But yeah, really excited to see where it lands, but like definitely a very, very rocky launch. Let's talk about what we've been playing. I'll go first. I'm playing Rebirth still, very, very slowly. I'm at Coral Prison. This place sucks. I hate this place.
Oh, I disagree.
I have not been wanting to play the game because I hate this place. Bench, explain to me why these like people who have defeated gods and demons get scared of a biker gang. I can't take these motherfuckers seriously.
I don't think they were like scared of them.
Scared of what? They're not.
They're just like doing the business.
I don't know. I'm just like at this point where like my entire party is locked away, and I have to hang out with this guy I don't even remember. He's like, Cloud.
Leslie?
No, like the farm guy. What was his name?
Oh,
I don't even remember his name.
Chocobo Bill's like grandson.
Yeah, he's like, Cloud, it's me again. And I'm like, I genuinely don't remember.
You met him like 30 hours ago.
Yeah, man, 30 hours ago, in and out. He was not in my memory banks. I mean, otherwise, though, I have been enjoying. I did get to Gold Saucer, though. Gold Saucer was great for the little bit I was there.
But how do you feel about Queen's Blood?
I love it. That's my favorite.
How was the tournament with Red 13 coming out?
Yeah. I was a little scared because I'm just like, oh no, Red 13, you better not fuck up my streak. I'm going kind of crazy. But I did beat his ass. He was ass at the game. I really dig Queen's Blood. I'm in a like very competitive. Like I just want competitive games. We need a Queen's Blood video game.
We do.
I want to shit on these
Square's game.
I want to shit on these kids online, bro. Like
yeah,
I
agree.
It makes sense. But yeah, really digging it still. It's just I don't know. This game is so long. Oh, and also Yuffie still sucks. I still fucking hate her. I hated her in the original. I hate her here. She is the worst character in fiction, man. I fucking despise Yuffie. But yeah, not much else to say. Oh, I should actually. I started Super Meat Boy 3D. I picked that up. Pretty cool so far. Nothing remarkable though. Very standard, like kind of 3D platformer with a really aggressive trophy list. I thought I was gonna be able to. It's like, oh, just get A+, and then the bandage for each level. And then I read it. It's like, beat this world without dying. It's like, fuck you, no, I'm not doing that shit. So yeah, very weird there, but otherwise pretty standard game. I think everything Jack said last week, I kind of am with him. Where it's just like, this is pretty fun, but nothing really remarkable. But yeah, you guys can go ahead. Bench, you can talk about this fucking
Starfield. Listen, I haven't gamed that much. I've been consuming a lot of TV. I guess the hatest
TV watch
video games. The Boys, Gen V, Invincible, all things, all very good things.
You've been watching Invincible?
I started it, yeah.
Oh, good show, right?
Yeah, I'm 6 episodes in. Good show so far.
Yeah, it gets really good later.
So with all season 4 talk, I've been wanting to jump in, but then I've been playing Starfield, Wolf's favorite game.
Yeah, I love this game. I love the revisionist around it, and then it came out and it didn't even chart in the top 10 for PlayStation.
I'm about 10 hours into Starfield, pretty much where I stopped originally, and then just kind of decided to play it on PlayStation. And then so far, I'm enjoying it. It's not like this masterpiece, mind blowing thing, but at the same time, it's got that Bethesda charm. You're kind of getting immersed in this world, this whole universe, like everything. But I do think exploration is better now. It's not obviously like Skyrim level or Oblivion level, Fallout, but it's better. And I do think like all of the handcrafted things and like interiors of buildings and like your spaceship, everything has so much detail that it's so easy to get immersed and just really enjoy this experience. And I'm playing it how I played the first 10 hours of Starfield originally. Like, I'm not going to go jump on a planet and go exploring. I'm going to go where the side quests and main quests and faction quests just take me. Which is still going to be like probably a 50 to 60 hour experience, but I'm enjoying it so far. I think they've made a lot of tweaks to combat that I've enjoyed. It just feels better. On top of visually, I think it looks better on the PS5 Pro in the enhanced mode. So I'm enjoying that so far. And then I finally circled back to Ease X Proud Nordics and beat that. I literally played like 20 hours of it in 4 days because it was such a
grinder.
I originally put it down because it kind of hit a part where it's like I'm not having that much fun, even though I was really enjoying the game, and I think that was the best thing I could do with this game because I circled back and immediately hooked back in and just like played the second half of the game and had a blast. I mean, the ending just very sweethearted on top of like a very fun final boss. All around very fun game. I'd give it like an 8. It's not like the best thing ever, but it's very fun action JRPG. And I've also been playing what Moon's been playing, but
yeah, Pocopia. That's the big game kind of of the year, along with like Resident Evil. I think those are like the two bigger hitters of the year. I'm curious because like Moon, you're kind of like me. You're not into these type of games. I'm
not really
this
either.
one seems to have stuck with you.
Yeah, it surprised me too. And granted, there was a point like very early on where I was like, "Is this really for me? Am I regretting buying this?" And then at some point, it just clicked, and I'm like, oh, "Okay, yeah, I get this." I'm definitely not like fully invested. Like, I'm gonna be building all the crazy builds I see online,
Yeah, this is
but
good shit.
yeah, it's like those are people who are like, "This is the only game I'm gonna be playing for the next couple months." Um, but I definitely enjoyed for what it did and what it because I just rolled credits literally not last night but the other night, and it's cool that the game has like a dedicated story to it where you can just get to the finish line, get to the credits, and you can just you know wipe your hands and call it a day. But there is like still so much you could do. But I think
What's the loop like for people who don't know? Like, how's like minute to minute gameplay?
so the loop is the story will start you off in an area like let's say not the tutorial because it really holds your hand there, but once you get to like the second area, it is consistent in the sense that you start the area off with a bit of story, not technically story, but like the professor character, Professor Tangrowth, will be like, okay, well, you know the stick by now, just kind of go do what you want, but there will always be these pop-ups of well, you'll always want to start with setting up habitats so Pokemon will start coming in. Usually you get the story-driven ones, but eventually you build habitats. Those Pokemon who come from those habitats will give you little quests to do, most likely teaching you something about a new mechanic of some kind. And then you get to like the very end of the quote unquote story of each area, and that's just finishing the Pokemon Center. And then once you do that, you're kind of once you finish the Pokemon Center, you've gathered all the materials and did the build for the Pokemon Center. There's like one little extra cutscene kind of thing, and then you're allowed to move on to the next area. So it's kind of interesting in a point where, yeah, they give you these guidelines. Well, here's what you do to advance the story, but go do whatever you want, basically. Like there were so many times that you accidentally stumble upon something or learn something, and then the story itself was supposed to teach you this, but you already discovered it. And what's cool is the dialogue in the game even acknowledges that, where if you went off and did something or fixed something, or like I said, discovered or fixed, and then the story catches up and says, "Oh, hey, can you go do this for me?" Oh, wait, you already did that. How awesome of you! So it is cool that the game is so well knows that people are just going to go wander off and do their own thing. That they've built the game around. It's adaptable, but like I said, I guess there's no better comparison than what me and Colin like. I started the game like probably a week or so late compared to Colin, and we finished around the same time. I had 35 hours in the game. He had 60 because he just messed around a lot more, and I guess probably just set up a lot more stuff. Where if you were to wander around my world, it is ugly. Like it is functional. It did all of the quests. It got everything
still
done.
war torn.
It still basically looks like a disaster zone where everyone's got their like a little designated spot of grass that they're allowed to live in, and only the select few actually got houses, like my favorites, because either they're a favorite Pokemon of mine or they're an important character that I need their skill set for. So I need them like right here. Like who was the one? Oh, Tinkaton. He usually is off like on the far. He's usually far off in the distance in this one of the final areas. But I'm like, no, you're a builder. I need you here. So I built him a house and like you're gonna stay here with me on the main island. So and I kind of did that with a lot of other Pokemon, like Piplup in the beginning of the beach area. He's the one that uses water so you can clean up all the sludge that's everywhere. And I'm like, yeah, so I need you around. So I built him a little house instead of him disappearing. And it's so funny that once you get so many Pokemon in an area, they don't all spawn in. They're never always on the map. And it's so annoying when I need a specific Pokemon to do a job and they're just not there. But yeah,
It's just like, where the fuck are you, Machop? I need this wood broken.
Basically, because yeah, like my problem was Torchic. Like he was the only fire Pokemon on that in the whole beach realm that I was able to get. And you need a fire Pokemon to make bricks. You take the squishy clay and turn it into bricks, which is really helpful for a lot of things. And he was just never around after a certain point. But I think that's where it kind of different. Now, granted, I've never played Animal Crossing, so I can't do a direct comparison. But I think the idea that you have these objectives that you can just like almost, without lack of a better phrase, speed run the game of like, I'm just going to focus on just doing these missions. I don't care about making this place pretty or functional or aesthetically pleasing. Everything's just going to get the job done. I'm going to summon as many Pokemon as I can, because that's what you'll see in a lot of my areas. Just like it's all just spots to summon Pokemon, and that was my method. Was because certain like very complicated habitats, like I'm going to give an example. There's this one that is a bronze statue of Clefable, and this habitat only summons Clefairies and Clefable. And so what happened was I finally built that. It took a lot of resources because it's a statue, and I finally built it. It summoned Clefairy, and I'm like, okay, well, I still need Clefable. So I moved Clefairy to another habitat inside of one of the houses so it can still sit there and summon Clefable eventually. Granted, it took days later. And that was just my method for a lot of things, especially the more complicated habitats. Like I was just min-maxing basically everything. Nothing is pretty. Everything's still a mess. But like I said, it got all the missions done.
The job's done, man.
And the job is done. And the fact that you can approach the game either like that or like Colin or a lot of these other people who are like, I'm just going to rebuild Kanto and make everything just like this functional utopia, basically. As the name suggests, Pokopia, it's like you're making a utopia, and you definitely can. You get the tools to be able to do that. So I think it's cool that the game offers both ways and it encourages both. It never talks down to you of like, well, why isn't this place prettier? Like, why haven't you spent more time building up the place? Why don't more Pokemon have houses? Literally 90% of my Pokemon don't live in houses. They live in grass patches.
Yeah.
I think
I love the idea. It's just like they're asking, like, yo, Ditto, can we have a house? Like, I'm tired of sleeping on the ground. It's like, nah, bitch, I did my job here. See ya.
You're not a mission quest, so you don't get a house.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that it helps with a lot of the like. I don't care about any of the Animal Crossing villagers at all. Having like a Pikachu ask me to do something for it, now that gets me going. I think it's as simple as that.
You going?
It makes me want to play the video game and enjoy the video game.
You gotta be careful phrasing that.
Yeah, but I think it's stuff like that on top of just having quest progression. Like people will say, "Oh, this and Animal Crossing are kind of different types of games," but I couldn't disagree more. I think if the Animal Crossing game comes out and it's just another Animal Crossing game, it's going to be heavily criticized because of what something like Pokopia does. And I think it's just going to be another Animal Crossing game, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm curious to
like,
see.
It to like what Tomodachi Life is going to be doing too.
Yeah, I mean that's next week.
Those are kind of different. It's a different, like, Tomodachi Life is literally you being like the controller of all and just like doing goofy stuff.
You kind of do control everything in Pokopia and Animal Crossing, though. You're definitely like way more heavily skewed and like affecting the lives of your villagers in Pokemon than like in the same way that Tomodachi Life is.
Yeah. I still think like Animal Crossing has some competition now within Nintendo, which is fine.
That's the thing. I think Animal Crossing has competition throughout the whole industry, and like
Yeah.
with stuff like Stardew Valley and stuff like just the thousands of cozy games it feels like there are every year. I am very curious to see what the next Animal Crossing looks like whenever it eventually comes out.
Make it an
Yeah.
FPS.
God, dude, now that would be fire. Oh
Yeah.
man, you kidding me? The Nintendo needs an FPS, man. Fuck it. Like I just want a shooter. But yeah.
Speaking of which, Splatoon Raiders got rated, so who knows when that's going to be coming out soon.
I mean, that has to be soon. Probably a summer game. It feels like. But yeah, I don't know. I'll ask you guys. You think I would dig Pokopia? Because Bob is very much nudging me.
I'm surprised
feels like
you haven't played it yet.
It definitely relies on. Well, a lot of people will complain. Like it was funny. Someone took a screenshot of the Pokopia subreddit, and literally like 6 posts in a row was like, "Is this game overwhelming?" And there is that definitely moment of, "Oh my god, this game actually is pretty overwhelming."
Well, that doesn't bother me as much. I like a big
because it gives you a lot of just mechanics all at once, and
it is 10 times more interesting than Animal Crossing. It's 10 times more engaging because there's always something that feels meaningful to do. Whether it's be, oh, I want to build like a house, but then I'm going to put like a habitat inside it, and that'll summon a Pokemon. And then you like the Pokédex element of it is very real because you're always being rewarded.
Yeah, so you're always getting Pokemon. Because as Bob told me, I forget what I said, but I told him along the lines of it almost feels like I have nothing to do because of something I was waiting for. I can't remember what it was, but then he's like, no, there's always something to do. And I'm like, goddamn, he's right. Because you can just look at your mission list. You can even just waste time going collecting because there are certain points in the game where there's some very limited resources. Gold is the one I found was my hardest one to just get acquired. And I'm like, I could just spend some time just going down in the mines and finding some gold, literally playing Minecraft.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's tough, man. There's a lot of stuff coming out soon. That's the real problem, and it's like, I really want to jump into Pokopia now? You know what this sounds like? This is a summer ass game. I might pick this up around June when no one's talking about it anymore, and I'll be like, wait, guys, this game's pretty cool.
That is the thing. Is like it came out at the perfect time where nothing was really grabbing me. Like the closest thing was Life is Strange, and even that it's just been sitting here ever since I've been playing Pokopia. And yeah, I just finished it like at the perfect time because now we have Pragmata out next week, Mouse replaced, and then Sauros is like the week after that. So it definitely helped that the peer pressure hit me when I'm like, wow, there really is nothing for like the next couple weeks, and I got into it as much as I did.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll get peer pressured and pick it up because Bop is very much like on me of like, you're gonna buy it. And it's like, yeah, most likely.
Well, but now you just be like, well, no, now I got Pragmata, now I got Sauros, now I got GTA.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, though. I feel like June is like, or not June, April is pretty busy for me. There is a good amount of stuff. And then by the time we get to like May, it's like 007 is like the really big one. And, maybe Lego Batman. But then by June, I'm kind of clear skies. Other than maybe the rumored Star Fox game. But like outside of that, it's like, that seems like a good time to get into Pokopia. But then there's like, I gotta finish Rebirth, man. This fuck ass game, man. I really do just gotta put in like hours on it, like really grind it, because it feels like it's almost like hanging over me at this point.
You're only about halfway.
Honestly, that's a lot farther than I thought. I thought I was like a third of the way. If I'm halfway, okay,
I think ballpark halfway. I do think you're going to run into a situation where the next like there's been some quick like brisk chapters recently probably for you that kind of cover some areas, some areas like you're not being thrown a whole couple areas like the first 2 chapters, but there's about a 3 chapter stretch, 3 or 4 chapter stretch where it's just 3 or 4 whole new areas and zones that are just that chapter. And while the story might go fast, there's a lot to do in those zones.
Yeah, and I've been doing everything per zone, so that's definitely slowed me down.
I mean, how do you like the side content in general?
That's the stuff I like. That's the stuff that like I'm really into and digging.
It's great.
I just when I get to a story, I'm like, I'm just not in the mood for like the long cutscenes, and especially the fact that Yuffie's in the party now. That has really lowered. I'm not joking, Mitch. Lowered my opinion of the game just by her being there. I hate this character so much, but otherwise, I'm really digging. And all the other characters are great. I will say that. My boy Red 13, my girl Aerith, my boy Cloud. Like I do love that party. It just there's a really sore pimple there. You know, I want to get rid of her. But yeah, I think that's everything. I think we're all good to head out. If you guys are,
Yeah.
Pretty short episode. Like I said, there wasn't a lot of news, but I had a good time. Good talking. Like talking about cartoons at the beginning. Definitely got me. Kind of want to just load up some Tom and Jerry and watch that because I fucking love Tom and Jerry. But yeah, I think we're good to head out. If you guys want to find us, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all your favorite podcast platforms, we're going to be on there. Like the podcast, helps us out a ton, and follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky at A Slice of Gaming, all one word. With that, I think we're about to head out. Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night.
Yeah.
Good night.
Let's get this
Don't let
place
the bed bugs
humid.
bite. Fucked up.